What's up, everyone? It's Adrian from Adrian's Awesome Accumulation. Today, we're going to be taking a look at another action figure, and it's going to be from the Four Horsemen's Figura Obscura line. So today, we're going to be taking a look at the Mouse King, and this is a pretty cool looking figure. But before we get to him, let's take a look at the box, because the box for this one is actually pretty cool. All right, so let me actually move the camera up so you guys can see it right there. All right, so that's the front of the box. As you can see right there, it says the Mouse King, and it has it in like this cool, like shiny lettering right there. And it has the Four Horsemen logo right there. And you can see the cool artwork of the Mouse King with all his heads and stuff like that. And he has like a scepter in his hand. So pretty cool looking. And I like the back, the Christmas background, like that warm Christmas color. And on the side of the box right here, we have some presents. On the back, we have the story of the Mouse King, which I believe is from the Nutcracker. I've never actually read that story or seen any of the movies that it's based on or anything like that, but I know of it, right? But like, yeah, I've never actually looked into the story. And then, on this side, we have more, you have the Christmas tree with some ornaments and some presents. But the cool thing about this, it actually comes off. See? And now we got like this cool little like flappable background and stuff like that. And this is the whole front view, so you can see with the presents, the Christmas tree, the Mouse King right there, and more presents on the side right here. And on the back, it's also another background, so you can put the Mouse King in front, and he has like a background, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is the back right there. We have some like like some pin cushions and stuff, some blocks. So he's like small, but like yeah, but pretty cool. Yeah. I wish it looked more Christmassy on the background right here. Right here, it looks like he's like in some sort of clock tower type of place. But you know, there's that. So this is cool. Let's move this out of the way, and let's take a look at the box he actually came in. So right here is the package window, and as you can see, it has some artwork in there too. And like this little card right there, that's a Christmas card that it comes with. So that's pretty neat. It comes with like these cool little accessories. So I don't know if all Figure Obscura figures in that Figure Obscura line come with like this cool stuff, but like that's pretty cool. We got this like princess lady right there. Again, that's the story. And then we got the Nutcracker, so that's pretty neat. And then like these candy cane designs right there, and the Mouse King. So that's pretty neat. And as for like when I'm talking about bonuses and stuff that it came with, it also came with like this cool little pamphlet right here, which is basically I guess just the story of the Nutcracker, right? So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so this is like a story. I was reading like a little bit about it, but like yeah, so there's that. So that's pretty neat. That comes with all this cool stuff. All right, so enough about that. Let's take a look at the action figure now. So here we have him, and this guy is really detailed and he looks really cool, right? So he got like 7 heads. So yeah, so he has 1, 2, 3, 4 like normal, regular looking like mouse heads right here. You guys can see that. So like these ones on the top and on the back right here, these heads are all the same, but like you can take them off and put them with other like Mythic Legions type of action figures if you want. And then we got like 3 different distinct heads. So we have this one that looks more like a rat, and you can see it has buck teeth right there, front teeth. And then this, all these on this, all these heads right here are articulated and stuff, so you can move them around. And then we have like the king head right here with the crown, which is pretty neat. And then this one has like scars on him, as you guys can see right there. So that's pretty cool. Then we got like a bone crown and stuff, and then he has like this cool little cool little like hat, like olden day hat. So that's pretty neat. And then we got like this, which is probably like my favorite of the heads. Like this roaring head, or I don't know if like mouses roar or anything like that, but like since he's more like a monster of a beast type of, mouse looking rat character. But yeah, you see that right there, and look at all the detail. His teeth. It's pretty cool. All right, and then we have like this giant piece, like that all the heads are connected to, which looks cool. It's like a painted gold color. And then we got like these regal frills right here with like some gold chains. And on the back has like this little like cool skeletal spine right here with like this spike. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, man, and just like the detail on this guy is really cool. And you can see the detail right here on his lower half, like his belt, like this cool like brownish bronze color with like the gold little like rivets right there painted on this belt right there. You got the pouch, his belt, and his, yeah, like another like belt right there, and then like bone ornaments right here. Yeah, man, it's just like it came out really really cool looking. I mean, doesn't he look like a Dark Souls boss? To me, he looks like a Dark Souls boss. Like you know, he could be like a character in the game. You know, like a Christmas like Dark Souls type of game or something like that if they did. But like, if you guys ever played Dark Souls 3, uh, do you remember that one place? I think it's called the Burial Valley. Man, that place gave me such like Christmas vibes. It was like haunting Christmas vibes, right? Because it's a dark game, but like it did feel like a Christmas section in that place. And just imagine him coming out like during that section of the game with all these seven heads. You know, it's like entering like a boss door, and then this guy comes out. You know, imagine him all big and stuff. That would look pretty cool. That's how I can see him as. So yeah, let's take off. Actually, I'll be right back. I'm going to put him right here, and I'm going to take off some of this stuff, and I'm going to show you the articulation. All right, you guys, I'm back, and I took all the other stuff off of him, and as you can see, he looks a little bit more skinnier and stuff. But all right, let's go over articulation. So for the head right here, you can look up all the way up right here, and you can kind of look down sideways right here. But he does come with another piece that I'll show you in the accessories that he can get even more head movement. But you can look side to side, and so yeah, that's pretty much it. Or if you don't have that other piece that I show you, that it's gonna look like that, but it's not that bad, I don't think so. And then his arms do come up over here, and so not exactly like a T-pose, but pretty high. And then again, if you just like move the arms up like that, you can get them higher, right? So like, yeah, so right there. And then yeah, and he does have butterfly joints, if you guys can see right here. And it does, like, they don't move a lot, but they do move a little bit, as you can see right there. So yeah, and then he does have a swivel right here, so you can kind of like move this in, move it like that, and then turn his hand, and then yeah, he can be grabbing like a sword with two hands and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So he does have a swivel up here, and his does have a double jointed elbow right there, and then his wrist move, and then these are like up and down ones. I don't know if he has like well, actually these are side to side. I don't know if he has up and down ones like that. I'll have to check on the arms on the other one. But yeah, so there's the articulation for his arms, and you know, for his waist, he does move. He can move that far back, that far forward, and then he does have a cut right here. So I believe he can move like kind of like side to side, or mine's just like stuck. I haven't like heated him up in a while since I got him, but like I imagine that part can move right now, but it is pretty stuck. So you're probably gonna have to heat it up in order to move him from the from this cut waist right here. Oh, but like he can like swivel right here. So yeah, so you can rotate him right there. So that's pretty good. All right, so there's that. And then his legs move up that high, right? And then he does have, he can bend right here, and then he can move right here just a little bit, rotate, and then he does actually bend right here also, so that's pretty cool. And then he does bend right here at the foot. So yeah, he bends that far high with the foot like that, and the foot can go back that wide. This part can go back that far. So yeah, and then he does move, can do the splits really good. So there's a lot of range right there. And then he does move at the top also, as you guys can see right there. And then this little piece just fell off. Just put that back on like so. And then he does have a tail. The tail's a little weak. You know, when you first put it on, it's like, sorry about that. As I was saying about the tail, when you first put it on, it's kind of sturdy, but after a while it does get kind of loose. But you know, it's still there pretty much, and then it is like articulated. So there's that, and the detail on the tail is pretty good. you guys can see right there. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, but like, yeah, so just keep aware that the tail is kind of loose. If that bothers you, you know, like, yeah, it's gonna be a problem. Maybe you can like glue it on or something, because it's not like that. You could probably glue this piece on right here to the back, and then because the part you're gonna be articulating is the tail, so I mean that'll still work. That's what I did with the skeleton, the other one that I had. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the articulation for this guy. And stick with me and I'll show you his accessories. All right, you guys, here I am back with the accessories. So let's start off with this big piece that I showed you earlier. So this is a place where all the heads connect. So yeah, so this is that piece, and here's a closer look at all the details and stuff on it. And then on the bottom right here, as you can see, that's the little hole where you just take off this guy's head and you just put this on, then you put this head right there. So there's that piece, and this piece is pretty big, pretty chunky, pretty hefty. So that's pretty cool. And then we got a whole bunch of heads with this guy. So this is the regular, mouse head. This is the one that it's like he has 4 of these. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then all these heads are pretty much the same. So yeah, so you can get, like, if you have other, like, Mythic Legions, type of toys, and you want to put like some rat heads or mouse heads on them, you got 4 of them. So that's cool right there. And then we have this one with the buck teeth showing that I showed you earlier. Here's a closer look at that. This one looks cool. This one kind of looks like Master Splinter to me. So that's pretty cool. Maybe you can get like another Mythic Legion's body, and have like a medieval Master Splinter. So that's pretty cool. There's that. And then we got this cool roaring one right here. So like a warrior, like rat beast and stuff, like a barbarian rat beast. So that's pretty neat. I really like this one. This one really looks cool. Look at the teeth right there. All the paint inside, all the detail. That's pretty neat. I like this one a lot. So we got that. And then we do got this nutcracker head. So this is pretty cool. As you can see, this is very detailed right here. You can kind of see like that wood grain right on his face. So that's pretty neat. And he got some scars on his nose right there. It looks like he's got like a missing eye, which looks like an eye patch, but it's just his eye popped out. And they've got some more scars. So look, this is a battle hardened nutcracker. So that's pretty cool. We got like a bullet hole right here on the top of his hat. And then all the gold right here for like the ornamentation on his hat. Cool little ruby right there. And then like the hair pieces right here, and it has some like shading, like some black paint in there. So that's pretty cool. Missing teeth. This is a pretty cool looking head. I put it on the legendary barbarian, and he looked pretty cool, especially since his skin color kind of matched the wood. But yeah, so there's that. And then we got a sword right here. So that's pretty cool. Kind of basic looking, but nice paint. Nice paint on the silver, the gold right here, and the silver tips right here on the handle or the hilt or whatever. And then the handle's all this nice black. Got this nice texture right here, and this cool little ornament on the bottom. So there's that. And then we got the scepter, which is this nice gold color. You got some silver right here, right here, like these little like silver like panels right here or whatever they're called. I'm not sure. And then on the bottom, it's like this kind of like mace weapon. So like you could probably like bash somebody's like head in with that. So that's pretty cool. Even with the scepter part, right? But yeah, this part's more for like his regalness, his authority, and got this cool like little sapphire emerald gem right there. So that's pretty neat. Cool scepter. And then we got this piece right here, which is, like this like royal like frill type of thing, and you got some fur on it right there. And oops, this cool little gold chain with little ruby and stuff. So this is basically, you just take off the head, and then I think first you want to put this on. So this is the other extra piece that I told you it came with. And yeah, so it's just to give them like more fur. So you like pop this in right here. And then this one's kind of hard to put in since it's so deep. And then this part, like this piece is spiky, so it hurts. But like, all right, there we go. So we got that in, and then you just put this piece top over it. You get his head, and you put that on, and bam, he's a king mouse again. All right, so that looks good. And then you got a little bit more. He can look down more with the extra, like furry part of the back of his neck and stuff. So you won't be able to look that high anymore, but like You can if you set up like that, but he'll be able to look down more, so that's cool. So there's that piece, those pieces, and we do got some more hands. So this is his open, kind of slightly open palm hand. I have one on him, but this is, just side to side as well, no open down there. And this is another grabbing hand, which I have one attached. And this is also side to side, so no up and down there. So that's kind of that. So those are his accessories. And stick with me and I'll show you a few poses. Pose 1, the Mouse King. Pose 2, Mouse Underling. Pose 3, Mouse Nobleman. Pose 4, Mouse Warrior. Pose 5, To War. All right, you guys, before we go, I want to mention 2 accessories that I forgot. First off, right here is this base. It does come with this base, pretty simple. You got this little metal wire right here that you can adjust like so. And then, of course, his cape that you guys saw in the poses. I forgot to mention that cape. I don't know why. It's a cool cape. It has a weathered look. It's really nice. All right, you guys. That is the review for the 4 Horsemen Figura Obscura Mouse King. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And if you guys did, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. And I'll see you guys next time. God bless and bye.